So today we will be continuing with skeletal system. So when we talk about skeletal system, what it does is it supplies the main framework for the body. In addition to supplying the framework for the body, it also protects the delicate organs such as the heart, lungs, etc. and the brain. In addition to that, your skeleton is also capable of providing movement and locomotion for the body. So basically when we talk about skeletal system, it consists of bones, cartilages and ligaments. Bones are the chief components of the skeletal system. They are hard, tough structures. Cartilages, they are slightly soft in comparison to the bones. Cartilages are basically found in your ears and noses, and ligaments, what they do is they connect bones with bones. So bones are of various shapes and sizes. Depending on their shapes and sizes, we can classify bones into long bones like your thigh bones and your hand bones, or your short bones like the smallest which are present in the ear. In addition to that, your bones can either be flat bones depending on their shape like a chest bone or sternum, or it can be of various different shapes. So when we talk about the structure of a bone, let's take into account a long bone. This entire bone is covered with periosteum. Now your bones are made up of cells called osteocytes. Osteocytes are cells which form concentric rings. And these osteocytes contain matrix, and matrix is nothing but the part which contains calcium and phosphorus, and calcium and phosphorus are the inorganic component of a bone. So a bone basically consists of organic and inorganic. Inorganic are calcium and phosphorus. Organic means compounds of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So if you dissolve a bone in a hydrochloric acid, the organic part remains and the inorganic part, it does not remain. Such a bone becomes soft. Now if you heat a bone, the inorganic part remains and the organic part, it does not remain. Such bones become very brittle, that means easily broken. So this is basically what your bone consists of, organic and inorganic part. So since we're discussing the structure of a bone, your bone is made up of cells called osteocytes, and osteocytes are created or in the structure of concentric rings, and these rings in between contain your matrix which contains calcium and phosphorus. And calcium and phosphorus is the one which provides toughness to the bones. Since your bone is covered by periosteum, the internal structure of the bone is a hollow structure. But this hollow structure is filled with yellow yellow adipose tissue and red tissue. So generally these are better known as red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. Red bone marrow are responsible for the production of RBCs, and yellow bone marrow are responsible for the production of lymphocytes. So this is basically what a structure of a bone looks like. So just bear with my drawing. This is the skull. It's not that perfect. So basically when we talk about skeletal system, it can be divided into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton means skeleton of the head, that is your skull, of the thoracic region, that is of the chest, and the backbone itself. So these three parts make up the axial skeleton. Appendicular skeleton means skeleton of the hands and the legs. So these are the two main parts of the skeletal system, axial and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of the skull, thoracic region, and your vertebrae, that is your backbone. So first things first, we'll discuss about the skull. The skull contains two parts. The uppermost part, also known as the brain box or the cranium, is made up of fused bones. 8 bones are fused, forming a compact permanent structure. These joints are also known as sutures. Then the face of the skull is made up of 14 bones. Then at the back of the skull, you have a small hole called foramen magnum, through which the spinal cord passes. The spinal cord also passes through the vertebrae. So generally when we talk about vertebrae, it consists of 33 bones. So the 7 cervical vertebrae are present in the neck region. The next 12 vertebrae are present in the thoracic region, that is your chest region. Your 5 lumbar represents your back region, and below the back represents your 5 sacral bones, that is your vertebrae, and 4 coccyx bones. Now your sacral and coccyx bones, they are fused. 5 sacral bones are fused into 1. 4 coccyx vertebrae are fused into 1. This coccyx is also known as the tail bone. So your 33 vertebrae consist of these 5 parts. Next, the thoracic region consists of a flat chest bone in the front. It is also known as the sternum. Is the flat, and it also consists of the ribs. So basically there are 12 pairs of ribs. The first 7 pairs of ribs are connected with the sternum. The first 7. The 8th, 9th and the 10th ribs are connected with the 7th ribs. Since they are connected with the ribs, these are known as true ribs. Whereas the last 2 pairs, the 11th and 12th ribs, they are not connected to any structure. They are known as floating ribs. These ribs help in respiration. Because of their movement, the lungs inside the chest, it starts to increase or decrease in volume, which helps in the movement of air in and out of the respiratory tract. So, appendicular skeleton means skeleton present in the bones and legs. So, basically when we talk of bones and legs, the first thing that comes into mind are your joints. It's because of these joints that we are able to move our hands and legs. So, tomorrow I will be continuing with different types of joints present in the human body.